So let's look at how we can set up our pricing within the site. So first of all, let's enter into this photo website that we're kind of designing from scratch. And as we just saw, we created the client area where the client different shoots are going to be stored. So from within here, because I'm logged in, you can see the buy photos by default is on. This doesn't mean that these photographs are available to a client not logged in. What this is the owner view. So in other words, in case I want to actually go in and buy photographs, as it were, print them off and so on. What I want to be doing is setting this up for the client. So from within your gallery, come up to the top here, or in fact at any stage in the web kind of experience, you can come up into Sell-in Tools. Just to prove that, let's click back onto the front page, and you can see at the top here we've got Sell-in Tools. Let's click on Sell-in Tools. Now, by default, SmugMug is giving you what kind of one that is done. Okay, so it's already here, as you can see. What I want to do is go in and create my own and my own different products. Can I just remind you at this stage that what I'm talking about as far as online galleries is concerned, as far as portrait photography and really making the maximized sale, not hard selling, but maximizing the sale, I would always encourage you to do in-person sales, okay, before we go on, and not just kind of shipping the client off to go and choose from a gallery. So the pricing we're going to create is post an in-person sale, and they've collected their order, their gallery of images that they bought online. I'm putting up there to actually store, and I may as well make the gallery available to buy from. Okay, so that's where we're at. So in price list, let's click into manage. And if you kind of come into your site and you've been logged in at any stage, and basically it needs to go into a business section, don't be afraid if it's asking you to log back in again. So I might have actually kind of gone out of the site, not been here for a couple of days or whatever it would be. And even though it was shown as the owner's view when I was logged in, when I'm going into the business side, it's saying, no, hang on a minute, log in again, just to make sure you are who you say you are, as it were. So this is this starter price list by SmugMug, which is there. And it's not bad, but it's just too much, okay? What we want to go in and now is create a new price list. So let's go Pro 23 1. So that would be Pro, or your business name, or wherever it be. 23 is the year, and 1 would designate for me that it's price list 1, because most businesses are going to have probably 2 or 3 prices in the year, especially as kind of costs keep going up and so on with it. Because a SmugMug site is dependent on a fulfillment partner, you're going to obviously have to go in, and depends on where you are. So I need to choose a UK-based one, and I'm going to put it into pounds. And at this stage, it doesn't matter whether I want to click on to lab color or correction or not. If you're unconfident, click it on. I don't need it on, because basically I'm going to supply them the correct image color anyway, and then use the suggested products and pricing. I definitely want to switch that off. The reason being, it will kind of pretty much give you all of their loose prints, all of their wall art, etc., and they'll kind of put a default of around about 400% on that. However, so I'm going to switch that off, and I'm just going to start from scratch. I'm going to continue, and straight away you can see it basically has a round up of 400%. Well, I work on a minimum of 500% anyway. And then basically I round up to the 00, because I hate the 99p gimmick. It doesn't work for me. I'm sure it doesn't work for you either. Okay, so after you click price list, your price list will be ready for you, for your clients. You can make it your default price list and adjust anything as you need. That's what we're going to do now. Create the price list. Now at this stage, in the top right hand side, you can see we can click a box that basically makes this default price list straight away for any kind of galleries from now on. So I can either do it now or later. We may as well do it now. And then basically, as you can see, it's lost now the option for the galleries and single photographs and everything else that is kind of showing here. If I didn't want to make it the default and just apply it to galleries, I could actually go into it, go into my client files, select the different galleries, and now all of a sudden you can see that 2 galleries is being applied. Otherwise, of course, just click on that box and we're ready to go. We do need to choose our products now, okay? I would remind you that less is more. Remember, this is a post-sale collection for clientele. It's not kind of there for the likes of schools photography, events photography, in this instance that I'm creating here, okay? This is a professional portrait photographer or professional wedding photographer, let's say. So personal photo license, yes. In other words, is this going to be a download? That's really what we're doing. And I either sell a gallery or I'm going to do a single photograph. So I'm just going to tick these boxes. Obviously, you can tick the different sizes. I would always recommend, if you're going to sell any digital product, you give them the full finished image in the full resolution. Because if they're buying a digital file, except for like the headshot photography, where they just need them for web perhaps and so on, really what a client wants to do is do something with those files. I also want to do a personal video license, and I want to do the full high res. And the reason being on that is that I create a Animoto slideshow at the beginning of my original viewing, and the clients might not have had that slideshow in their collection or package that they bought from me, and they might think that they actually want it. So at least let's make that available. But then I'd need to upload the video slideshow into the gallery as well as the photographs, of course. Then we're into paper prints. Standard sizes. At this point, I'm thinking that the client is going to be framing them themselves. So I want frames that are ready off the shelf, 6.4, 7.5, 10.8. Do I want to go any bigger than that? That's really down to you. I definitely don't want to do loose prints. If I click onto this grey bar, that collapses it down, and that brings up the other sizes that are available. So click onto squares. In this case, I want 5.5, 8.8, 10.10. Clicking down here. Now, obviously, if you wanted glossies as well, you would just check these. If you wanted all 3 options available, luster, glossy, and metallic, all you need to do is click onto the checkbox to the left-hand side of the size, and then they will actually put a tick box into all of these. In this case, I'm just going to choose those. And then as far as the different kind of size, so in other words, in the products here, what do I want to do? I'm going to start big first, so 40-30, 30 by 30, 30 by 20, 24, 24, 24, 20, 20, 20. And the reason I've done that is that I'm going to change the wall art to a slightly budget kind of pricing. So in other words, the framed products are going to be pretty much what we would be selling them for in studio. There's no extra discount online, but the canvas could be a kind of a quick gift present at a slightly reduced profit level. In the wall product here, what kind of thing designates wall to you? That's really down to you. So in other words, 1616, 2016, 2020, 2420, and basically 2024, let's say. And then remember, we're collapsing these. And if you want other things like desk wall art and so on with it, so single desk frame, we're just going to go to a single color 10.8 and single color 8.6, let's say. And we're going to press done. At that point, what I've now done is chosen my products, but I haven't set the prices. If we go into the personal photo license for a minute and I click on pricing, you can see that because it's based on 500% here, because there's technically no cost in a download, we've basically got £6 is the selling price. Well, I definitely don't want to be doing that for a gallery. So I'm going to put 350 into here. And you can see now one of the negatives is that we're being charged a large percentage of the sale by SmugMug is their commission for selling it online for us and things, really. So just be very careful about how much profit is being eroded. If you wanted to make sure that you were going to clear 350 profit, let's say, you can work it the other way around. So you put your profit into the left-hand column, it adjusts the right-hand column for its selling price, or as you said, or as I said, basically put in the selling price. So £35 is that one. Downloads per personal here. Clicking into it once more. That is going to be 150. Paper size prints. And clicking onto the price. If I don't click onto the price and I click onto the 6.4, it only opens up the one price box. So again, £35. I need to click on the next one. And the next one. Okay, but as I said, if I click onto the pricing option here, yes, it will collapse or open them all up at once. So it's a little bit quicker. So in the square sizes, clicking on price, at this point, the 5.5, £35, £45 and 55. And then the wall canvas art. In this case, as I said, I want it to make it a little bit more affordable than just the actual standardized pricing, because you look at the ×5 now, and you're really going to make it unaffordable to begin with. Not so bad with print prices, but when we get into the wall art, you've got to be careful of that ×5, especially if it's an after sales gallery. So if I say, because this is a budget product sale that we're doing, I want to earn a profit of say 175. Then it's going to set the price into each one. And it's going to round it up for me as well. So remember, we're doing this as if it's a budget after sale as such. Obviously, you don't want to be kind of making a price list for the kind of the initial sale where you're only going to earn X amount of money in profit, especially if the session fee is only a small part of what you need to earn as the income with it. But you can see in here that you can go in and actually change the different types. In the wall art frame now, of course, slightly different. You can see the prices that are going on here as far as the black wedge box or whatever these things are. You can see the cost, the base cost for us, and how it's kind of being changed. So in here, you might want to go in and actually just change your pricing down to whatever the kind of the main concern of profit level is, or your selling price is concerned. And you've just got to find what is working for you. Pricing is one of those contentious things that we've covered time and time again in our business sales training films that we've created on Academy and on YouTube as well. But for now, I'm just making it nice and easy for myself to actually make the client at least see what kind of pricing it is there. I'm always taking a look at what profit is within the job as well. Okay, so I'm not just putting in figures in here that mean this works well for the client. I've got to check the actual profit is really what I want to earn as well. I would suggest, though, that if you are looking to sell to a client in a gallery online, you fear the face-to-face or whatever reason that you're doing it, I would have a first week price list. In other words, for 7 days you can buy at this, otherwise it's going to be increased by X and things really. So at least then you can go into the galleries and change them and pick the pricing, because you've created multiple price lists and that you can apply them to the different galleries. And then finally, then let's just kind of finish up on here, and we can see that it's quite expensive in profit wise. So we just want to make sure that we've got the right elements. So in 8.6, we actually go to 125 anyway. So 125, and this is 150. Okay. So from here now, you can see what we've done is we've created ourselves a price list. Apply the changes, and then continue editing, or manage the price list, whichever you want to go to. So at this point, you can see the Pro 3 now is our default price list. That's really what it's going to do. So if I create a gallery, the price list will straight away be used for that. Let's do it in practice. So let's go into Site or Organize. Go into Client Files. We're going to create a new gallery. This is, by default, it's Clients 2023. We talked about that in the other film. Let's KR. Especially in the world of boudoir, you might have clients who don't really want to either share a photograph or actually have their names visible as such. And then what we're going to do is create that gallery, and then I'm going to upload images directly. Let me just grab a folder. And for now, I'm just going to drag in just a few photographs so it doesn't take too long. Remember, I'm uploading the full resolution file. That's the great thing about SmugMug, because SmugMug is expecting you at one stage that you want to make some money from your photography. So it's giving you the update kind of thing. As you can see, the default also has instantly put the watermark in place for us, if that is what the client is going to do. So in this case, if we go into settings, and we look at the security, so we can see that anybody can actually view this at present because we haven't put a password on it. I would absolutely, for all your client galleries, with the exception perhaps of weddings, I would actually put a password on here so you are controlling it. So you can see some of the passwords that we used in the past. Let's just do 123 for now, just numbers. And we're going to press save. And then we're done. So if we view on site, we can see the images. Yes, they're here. Those are the ones I just uploaded now. If I go to log out, so click on the human being at the top, the icon, and log out of the site, instantly it locks me out of that gallery because it needs a password to enter into this gallery. So if I go into our clients, we can see that none of these have got photographs assigned to them and they're locked. To go into this one we just did now, we click on it. It asks for the password. If I get it wrong, we can actually have a password hint. Yes, so need a hint, just numbers, so it's showing the client. In this case, as I said, 123, and we're going to let me in. And then we come into here. And at this stage, you can see we've got our buy photos here straight away. So once we click into that big one, we've got the option straight away to actually see all the thumbnails together. If I hadn't clicked on the big buy photos, but instead I was on a photograph, you can see that the shop is basically ready on the side for the client to buy. So they can actually go in and say, well, what's the price of wall art? Let's look at canvas. How much are they? Oh, what's that like in the 30 by 20? This is kind of a guide where the client can actually choose themselves. They can even go in and basically crop it and kind of make it into the position that they want. And then they can just go to add to cart. And that is going to be then in their cart, ready to kind of check out at any stage. And you can see when they're in the gallery and they've added something to the cart, we can basically click onto the one and then we can see what is there. And this is how they can kind of follow through to their beginning. Let's step backwards and we go into the buy photos part. In this stage, we're going to go to the downloads and we're going to do the gallery download and we're going to add that to cart. And then basically, if we go back to our cart again, scroll to the top, you can see now the client has put 2 products within their kind of amount here. It's a total product cost. Within pricing, you can actually apply coupons to give discounts and so on with it as well for future films, perhaps. We've done those already years ago. They haven't changed much. But again, what we want to make sure when we're setting up shopping, though, is that within the actual setup, is that we're putting a proof delay on the product, especially when a client has gone in to edit the photograph. If I didn't have a proof delay on the gallery, basically as soon as they paid, it would be shipped off to the supplier. And then straight away, of course, the client's going to have that product shipped directly to them.